What's happening, Lazy Bunch fans? Dan here, and today we're answering another Ask Lazy Bunch question and answer video. Yes, we're back for that. Episode 6, yay, we've gone past one whole hand and on to the other hand. I'm just gonna cut that because that was a weird thing to say. Welcome to another Ask Lazy Bunch video, everyone, and today we have a lot of questions. Before we begin, make sure you slap that subscribe button and hit the like button as well to help us with the YouTube algorithm. And as always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you check out our Halo machinimas, whether it be the shorts or the full-length movies, whatever Halo base that you're looking for, we've got on the channel. So please check out all of our work and show us as much support as you possibly can. I am already off to a slow start, so let's dive right into this. First, we got a question from my brother-in-law, Kieran, or better known as Kieran-in-law. Have you ever considered playing Pokemon for the first time as a video? So I'm not gonna lie, I have played Pokemon before, either it being Pokemon Coliseum on the GameCube or Pokemon Red and Blue, but I have yet to actually play through like a whole game. So that's something I would consider doing, and since the Switch has so many old games back on there, that's definitely something I'd be interested in exploring. So maybe one day. Next, we got another question from Kieran-in-law. My final question, probably at least for this asking period. Oh shoot, was this supposed to be in the last Ask Lazy Bunch question and answer video? Do you have a favorite movie/TV adaptation of a video game, and vice versa? Not including anime, no Pokemon, or Kirby Right Back At Ya. So Kirby Right Back At Ya would be my favorite. I know that's a tough pill for a lot of people to swallow because the show didn't really do so hot. And looking at Kieran's next post in the chat, he makes a great point with The Last of Us and Detective Pikachu as his favorites. But I think for me, this is gonna get a lot of hate for the Super Mario Brothers movie from the late 80s, early 90s. That movie actually is one of my favorites. Now let me clarify, it's one of my favorites because it's so bad. It's always a good time watching that movie. I'm always laughing at it, having a good time, joking with my friends while watching it. It's just always a fun time. I have yet to watch The Last of Us, and I'm sure once I do, it will become my favorite. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Next, we got one from Nate Spidey18. Good old Nate Spidey. Which worst season of RVB would you rewrite? Okay, for this one, there's a couple of seasons I would rewrite. And mind you, I still haven't seen the last two seasons, but I have seen a little bit of RVB 0. With that all in mind, I think I would want to rewrite 0. And here's the thing. I think the overall arcing plot is probably okay. Granted, there is a lot I would do differently with it, but I think I see what they're trying to do with it there. Now, obviously, the biggest flaw with that show is the fact that it has RVB in the title, yet it's not about the Reds or the Blues versing each other. It's about all these new guys. So with that, I think my first thing would be to take off the RVB title altogether from it. It's basically its own spin-off machinima. It has nothing to do with it. I think I could probably tackle 0. Obviously, I would add a lot more stuff to it and fix all the problems that come with it already. But I mean, I think I don't know why watching that really made me want to like. I think the problem with it is that show made me so mad that I just decided that I would want to redo that one the most. Like I have no words for that season, and yeah. Next, we got our first question from our newcomer named Frosty and Icy. He is new to the Lazy Bunch server. He's watched a ton of our content and given us some great comments and feedback. Not to mention the guy just seemed pretty chill, pretty awesome. So, Frosty and Icy, you are cool, my guy. Anyway, his first question is, are there any RVB characters that you dislike? Let's retract RVB 0 just for a second here and think about the mainstream cast. But if we're strictly talking about like Blood Gulch Chronicles or Project Freelancer or The Recollection, I think in my mind, Sister will have to be the one that has to go. I mean, she's a great character, but I think on the total poll of all these other great characters, I think she's just the one who has to go. Next, we got a bunch of questions from Frosty and Icy, so I'm gonna fly right through these. Okay, a guy at my high school got arrested today. Oh, dang. So I have questions. Okay. So have any theories about the future of Lone Wolves? So in context, Frosty and Icy messaged me about a bunch of theories he had for Lone Wolves. And I don't remember all of them off the top of my head right now because he had so many theories and all these ideas and everything. Some of your theories do actually sound really good. And I'm not going to say which ones right now because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. I'm going to say some sound good. You'll be surprised at what direction we go with the future, but we do have some pathways that we do want to take them in, so you'll see. It's gonna be interesting. Who's your favorite RVB character? Mine being Tucker or Caboose. I want to say Caboose is my favorite, but for most of my high school life, Church has always been my number one. Looking back, I always saw myself as like the leader of the Lazy Bunch, and I mean, I still am, but like I saw a lot of Burning Burns and Church qualities in me at the time that like really meant something to me when I was in high school, so I guess Church. Do you plan to make your own merch? merch. Actually, yes, we had merch for a little while. Nobody bought a single thing. Posters, shirts, hoodies. No one bought any of that stuff. So we kind of discontinued the shop for a little while. We brought it back a couple of times for Lone Wolves Extraction. But again, no one really bought anything, and I know people want the Captain Reynolds body pillow. Obviously, nothing sold, so we're not really sure, but we definitely want to bring the merch store back when we make our next show. What is upcoming for the channel? Well, there's going to be a Halo short every Thursday like there always is. And every beginning of the month, another Ask Lazy Bunch. But we have a couple plans for some machinimas along the way, including Genre Generator. And I don't want to spoil a surprise, but we are trying to bounce back ideas about like doing an original Lazy Bunch, like the Lazy Bunch shorts from 2010, but do those in machinima form. So it involves getting a lot of the original people together to make that happen. But yeah, it involves getting some of the original gang back together and trying to make that happen. It's an idea that we have, but we'll see what comes of it. And one more for now, who is your favorite character in RVB on both teams, and which is your favorite team overall? So my favorite team is Blue Team. I don't know what it is about their storylines. I love their story. Red Team has just always been kind of like sidelined to me. Favorite character of both teams, Church and Sarge. Those are my two tops. But Church is probably my overall favorite, with CABOOSE probably coming in second. All right, so that one took a little bit longer than anticipated, so hopefully I'm going to be flying through the rest of these questions. Hopefully it won't be over 30 minutes. What is the future of Lone Wolves? Well, like I said, the Perfect Soldiers is our next project, and the Lone Wolves cast will be in that. After that, we do want to make a Lone Wolves 2, but I think we're going to kind of focus on some other things along the way. Captain Reynolds and his team will still exist. We'll still do things with them, but they're just going to be a little bit smaller until we get to Lone Wolves 2. Did any ideas for the future interest you? Yeah, there were a couple of ideas, like your VR show that you're doing. Some of the things recommended to me in private chat are intriguing, but like I said, we have a lot of ideas already in the pipeline for the next like 2 to 3 years. So a lot of those things that you said are really good, but honestly, I don't want to steer too much off the direction that we're on right now. So some of those things might change along the way. So a lot of things you said will be in the back of my mind, but if I have any more questions or concerns, don't worry, I'll reach out to you. Another question, who's your favorite best voice actor? Do you think you're gonna round out the Perfect Soldiers universe soon? How many new characters are planned? James Arnold Taylor is my favorite voice actor of like all time. Out of the voice actors that I've worked with, I love all of them. They're all amazing, but Andrew Hindle is the one that I've worked with since high school, and he's just been phenomenal every time. He does the voice of Anderson from Lone Wolves, and him and I have just worked so well together over the past decade, actually over a decade now. I don't know, just Andrew, you inspire me, man, and I hope to one day be even close to a voice actor like you. Maybe one day. Do you think you're going to round out the Perfect Soldiers universe soon? I don't think I'm going to round it out soon. I mean, we had a whole 10-year plan in place. So if that answers your question at all, we are rounding out this phase and carving out the next phase. How many new characters are planned? There's going to be a lot. Not in the Perfect Soldiers, but in the project after that, it's going to be a whole new cast. There's going to be a lot. Are you planning on killing off any of the characters for the Perfect Soldiers universe? If so, who or why? All right, look, I don't want to spoil anything, but there are some characters that we have talked about that might get the axe in the next project or so. And not so much because we want to misdirect or just kill this guy off because of no reason. We have legit storylines that are ending and new storylines that are beginning, and some character storylines just weren't a send-off. So there are some characters that we are gonna kill off. I'm not gonna say who right now, so you'll see. You'll just have to wait and see what happens. Now we're on to a new Discord member named One They Fear 2. Talking about RVB, do you like more blue or red team? As I said before, blue team is my favorite. I love their storylines. So red team is great, but I like blue team more. Frosty Nicey's back with a bunch of more questions. Who do you want to fight Anderson the most? Same for Reynolds. Church versus Reynolds. Who wins in a fight? Same for these. Carolina versus... Let me go one at a time. Right now, I really want Commander Wells to fight Anderson. Both those guys are past their prime in the story. They're both different leaders of these different organizations, so I would love to see them go head to head. Now, obviously, I want a rematch between Reynolds and Anderson, but I think Commander Wells getting in on this fight would be really awesome. For Reynolds, I'd love to have Anderson fight him again, but like I said in a previous Let's Ask Lazy Bunch video, I really want a Civil War type story happening. So getting Samantha Chloe to fight Reynolds would be really, really cool, I think. Church versus Reynolds, who wins in a fight? Honestly, that's a tough one. Both characters are very similar. They both use a sniper rifle. I think Reynolds would win just because Church has such terrible aim. But at the same time, Church lives in Epsilon, so technically he's not really a person that can be killed. I definitely think Reynolds could win this match, but I think Church is just like, he's got some weird like backstory things that could make him come back. So that's a tough one. That's an interesting one. Carolina versus Delilah. Here's the thing, Delilah is not very physically strong, but psychologically she is very, very tough. Delilah might be able to outsmart Carolina, but Carolina definitely has the strength to defeat Delilah. So that one's a tough one. I'm not sure who to put my money on that one. Tex versus all the Lone Wolves team. Tex would win. No No debate on that. Reds and blues versus you get to pick the characters from machinima. Okay, let's do this. All the RVB characters versus the Perfect Soldier universe characters. I think the Perfect Soldier's characters has a really good shot at beating all the RVB characters. But then the Project Freelancer characters come in, and those are the ones who's gonna come in and win at the final seconds. CABOOSE versus X53. X53 can't die, but neither can CABOOSE. So, I don't know. That's a draw. Frosty and Icy has another long question, so here we go. Okay, this is a big one. CABOOSE versus Glitch. Actually, let's be honest. Both of them would start fighting and then maybe go out for cupcakes or something like that midway and just realize, hey, we could be friends. I don't know. Let's be honest. They're not even gonna fight. Do you like the Halo campaign or the lore? I like the Halo campaign more than the lore, but I definitely think the lore helps build it up a little bit. It's like watching Star Wars. I prefer the movies, and then the shows kind of add to that flavor. How many times have you watched RVB? All the way through? I haven't yet. But seasons 1 through 8, I have watched maybe a dozen or so times. Opinion on Tucker? I mean, he's cool. He's all right. I don't hate him. I like everyone in the show. Opinion on Sarge? He's my favorite Red, so yeah, he's obnoxious. I love him. Your inspiration is Marvel for Perfect Soldier, so who's your Spider-Man of the group, and who's your Iron Man? Well, that's a good question. That's a really good question. So funny enough, when I was writing Reclaimer, the very first draft was very similar to Iron Man. And in that, Chloe was kind of Iron Man and Ava was kind of Spider-Man. She was kind of like the mentor to Ava. But the more rewrites we did with Reclaimer, the more I realized that she couldn't be like Iron Man. It just wasn't going to happen. As of now, we don't really have an Iron Man character, but as for Spider-Man, I definitely think Ava, with her unique abilities, and the fact that she's young and might potentially become a bigger character later on, I think looking at her as Spider-Man makes a lot of sense. How long will all these questions take for you to answer? You might break 40 minutes. God, I hope I don't, because no one wants to watch a 40-minute video. Kieran-in-law is back with another question. Aren't you glad I didn't say banana? Really? But yes, I am glad you didn't say banana. I am glad. Strength tier list for Perfect Soldier's universe characters is a director's commentary for the first Perfect Soldier's film on the table. Watch the second film now, by the way. Okay, so I definitely want to do a tier list for all the characters at some point. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and actually do it, but I definitely will do a tier list, and I'm wondering if I should do that either before or after the next project. I don't know, maybe I'll do one before, maybe one after, because there's a couple new characters that we're bringing into it, but overall, I think it's the mainstream characters that you really want to know about. As for the director's commentary, this is going to be a little bit tricky because I have to get the main cast together. If not the main cast, at least me, Greg Renko, and Scott. Scott's the one who voiced Agent Trax, and I might as well have Tyler involved as well. So the four of us get together for a chat actually would be pretty cool. So it's just a matter of making it happen. One They Fear 2 is back with another question. What's your opinion on the best Halo game? Spartan saw it and all the other stuff included. My personal favorite Halo game is Halo 3. The thing I realized about Halo games is that a lot of people's favorite ones depend on their age, and not necessarily the game itself, but what has happened in their life around that game. For me in high school and watching Red vs. Blue and getting into machinima, Halo 3 was the perfect game for me. Forge alone was the reason why I got an Xbox 360. Halo 2 made me interested in machinimas, but Halo 3 got me into machinimas. A lot of people I know now love Halo 4 and Halo 5 because those are the games they've grown up with. So it really depends, but for me personally, Halo 3 is the best game just because of everything that I've gone through in my life with that game. And objectively, I think it has the best campaign out of every Halo game. But that's just me. If you think differently, go ahead and comment below which Halo game is your favorite. Kieran-in-law is back with another question. What are some of your hottest takes? My top 3 are Halo 4 is better than ODST, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet look amazing, and Hero Factory wasn't mid. Okay, here's some of my hottest takes, and I'm just gonna go down a list of them right now. Hot take number 1, I think Nintendo loves Pokemon and Super Mario Bros. Too much. Legend of Zelda, Animal Crossing, Kirby, all those franchises don't get enough love from Nintendo. Hot take number 2, I think Nintendo GameCube games are severely underrated. While the console itself wasn't that great, the games were absolutely incredible, and Nintendo needs to remaster more of them. You know, I've gone on this rant before about Nintendo games, but I think Nintendo needs to remaster GameCube games like ASAP. It's been too long. Let me just start out by saying they remastered Super Mario 64 for the DS only 8 years after the original game came out. Just 8. And we're 20 years past the original Animal Crossing, the original Luigi's Mansion, and we have yet to get remastered versions of those. And I agree with you, Kieran. Hero Factory was not mid. It was actually really good. All right, those are my hot takes for the day. I am done. I think the comment section is going to explode over the Nintendo thing, but we'll see what happens. Which game has better customization, Reach or Halo 3? Halo Reach definitely has better customization options. There's a lot more to choose from. But personally, I love the art style and the options that came with Halo 3. Reach just has a lot more to choose from, and not to mention the progression system is just amazing in that game. But personally, Halo 3, again, is top tier, so I think that one's just better. Next, we got a question from Aquifer Unknown. Man, this guy comments and likes on every video of ours. Thanks, man. I really appreciate you commenting in this video. Favorite and least favorite helmet from each Halo with helmet customizations. All right, let's go down the list right here. I'm going to put up the images on the screen and you will see them. Halo 3, I love the Scout helmet. That is my absolute favorite. Least favorite, I hate the security helmet. I just think it looks just too weird. Halo Reach, I love the ODST helmet, but I hate the Gungnir or Gunger or whatever the heck that thing is called. I think that one just looks so like weird and boxy. I just don't like it. My favorite helmet from Halo 4 is the Enforcer helmet, and my least favorite is probably the Soldier helmet. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that one. I just don't really care for the Soldier helmet that much. Halo 5, I refuse to play that game, so I'm not even gonna mention any of the helmets of that one. And Halo 2 Anniversary is a little bit tricky because there are some helmets that I really like, but I'm gonna go with the classic Mark 6 helmet right there. I'm gonna go with the classic one. Next, we got a question from Buck, my man Buck. Oh man, I love this guy. Favorite frames per second. So as you guys know, I have played around with frames per second in a multitude of videos. I have done 60, 30, 24, all kinds of frames per second just to see how they look. And so far, I think my favorite is 30. It's just, that's just the sweet spot right there. Because 24 has a really awesome look, but 30 just gives me a little bit more flexibility to either do slow motion or just make it look a little bit smoother. You know, just 30 is that sweet spot for editors. Next, Kieran Law is back with another question. Will Arabella and Richard have kids? I'm gonna let the SpongeBob clip do the talking for me.
Maybe someday.
When They Fear 2 asks, Halo 5 or Halo Wars 2? We all know I absolutely hate Halo 5. So Halo Wars 2, even though I've never played it, is naturally better than Halo 5. Oh man, When They Fear 2 has a lot of questions. All right, let's just jump down this list. Noble 6 versus Spartan Locke. Noble 6 will win. The Rookie versus Sergeant Johnson. Please, is that even a debate? Arbiter versus Emil. I mean, as much as I want Emil to win, the Arbiter's gonna win. He will. I cannot pronounce that word for whatever reason, but Resolution versus Guilty Spark. I think Guilty Spark would win. That's a good matchup, but I think he would win. Diadact would win. Tartarus would win. Arbiter would win. I don't know who any of those people are. I'm gonna say Chaklock. Ooh, the Flood versus Xenomorphs. That's a good one. Oh boy, that's a really tough one. I'm gonna say the Flood, and I know it's a little bit of a biased opinion, but I think they would win. Cat versus Kelly. Cat. George. I'm gonna go with Joel on that one. Emil. Arbiter again. Master Chief. Caboose. Tartarus. Ooh, a Guardian versus the Gravemind. I think a Guardian might win. I mean, that's a little bit of a hot take right there, but I think a Guardian might win. Death Star versus Installation 04. Probably Installation 04. The Banished. Arbiter again. I think Tex versus Chief. I think Tex would win. I know that's a hot take, but I think Tex would win. Noble 6 versus Tex. Tex would win again. Sergeant Johnson versus Buck. Sergeant Johnson. Come on. What kind of question is that? Frosty and Icy asks, when will we get a Reynolds body pillow? Oh Lord, the question just never stops. We will one day. When we find a good website to make a body pillow, it will happen. One day. Frosty and Icy's back with another one. Like I said, over 40 minutes. I don't think we're over 40 minutes just yet, but we're getting close. Will your wife be in Perfect Soldiers? Funny enough, she actually is in Perfect Soldiers. She does the voice of Arabella Mason from the Perfect Soldier Elimination. What is your favorite Halo game based on story? Halo 3? Who is your favorite Halo boss in Infinite? Funny enough, I have not played Infinite's campaign yet, so I will get back to you on that one. Who's your favorite all-time Halo villain? Probably Tartarus, just because of his influence in Halo 2. I mean, I love the Halo 2 story a lot, so probably him. How terrified are you that you have to make a behemoth of a video? Not terrified at all, I'm flying through this. When will we get a meme montage of the Perfect Soldiers? We gotta get Nate Spidey18 on that. He's the one who's in charge of the memes on this channel. He's made some really impressive memes, and I hope he makes some more. Next, we got one from Asteroid. Oh man, Asteroid, I love this guy. Will you be doing commentaries for Lone Wolf's Extraction and Perfect Soldiers Evolution? I love hearing about the behind the scenes process. So Lone Wolf's Extraction, we meant to release like 6 to 8 months ago, but we just haven't had the time to record it. We definitely will release one for that one. That's gonna happen sooner or later. As for Evolution, go back to Kieran's question. We gotta get the original cast back together. It's just a matter of scheduling it and making it happen. You know, Greg Greco is really busy and has got a lot of his plate, but we can't do it without him. So if he can do it, then we can make it happen. So it's you just gotta. I don't know what to tell you. We want to make it happen. It's just It's a lot of moving parts to that. And last but not least, but we got the final question from Kieran in the Law asking me an important question about Yu-Gi-Oh, my Cyber Dragons deck, or your Ritual deck. I don't know if you know, but I use a lot of Ritual monster cards in my deck. Some really ultra powerful cards that help the effects of other monsters that I have in my deck. I do not like the Cyber Dragons just because there are so many things that they can do to summon themselves onto the field. Kieran, I think we just have to do a rematch, and I think the Cyber Dragons deck is probably your best deck, and it's really good. We just gotta do a rematch, man. We gotta do a rematch. So now I've answered all the hundreds of questions for this Ask Lazy Bunch question and answer video. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions for me, leave the comments down below or leave them in the Ask Damman section of our Discord server. Make sure you slap that subscribe button as always. Like this video to help us with the YouTube algorithm. And I just want to truly thank everyone who submitted a question for this video. Thank you all sincerely for watching, and thank you for all the newcomers who have asked questions. I mean, this channel's been growing fast over the past year, and I just want to continue that momentum. And I can't do it without any of you guys, so truly, thank you so much, all of you, all of our subscribers, all the members of our Discord server. Thank you so much. Again, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.
Oh my God, I'm like, bow, bow, and he's like, no, no, and I'm like, yeah, bow, bow, pew, 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 whoa, I'm good. Oh my God, I'm like, bow, bow, and he's like, no, no, and I'm like, yeah, bow, bow, pew, 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 whoa, I'm good.